Alright, so today we're doing the first trail run of the season. Now this trail is one that I tried to do in a live stream last summer and wound up overheating a bit. Today a couple things different. One, we're in the bounder, so we have basically unlimited range and a lot more speed, and also it's not that hot outside. It's supposed to get up to maybe 71, but we will see. First part of the trail is kind of boring, but like there's some more interesting stuff later on. I want to do some exploring and we gotta get some coffee and all that stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna get going here and pick up the camera when we see some interesting stuff. Looks like they did some trail maintenance here at some point, so there's a lot of dead blackberries and stuff. While I do have air-filled tires on the back of this chair, they are 6-ply DOT rated tires, so in theory blackberries shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully the wind's not a problem too. Hang on, I'm gonna stop and see if this wind noise is too much. Alright, so the wind noise isn't too bad. I was gonna use my Hero 9 Black, which I have the Media Mod case on, which has the windscreens and everything, but that thing finally actually died. I could not get it to turn on this morning. It wouldn't charge. I swapped the batteries, all that stuff. So instead we're using the GoPro Max, which is a decent camera. It's a lot newer. It's designed to be a 360 camera, but I'm using it in what they call hero mode, so just one lens. Anyways, so the tires on this chair are kind of loud, as you can probably hear. When I got the new tires on this last time, I was actually looking around for some that had highway tread. So I bought these because I couldn't find any highway tread ones. They're very aggressive tread, and running around on asphalt like this chews them up. But then 2 days later, or 2 days after I got them delivered, I saw they had these Michelins for sale that had highway tread. I am still gonna be getting a new bounder at some point. I know there's been like a 2-year wait on that, so I'm somewhat hesitant to swap out the tires again. Actually, maybe if I swap out the tires, that means I will get a new chair. I don't know, anyways. These ones are loud and they slow me down a bit, but hey, whatever. So yeah, the first stop that's in 4.5 miles. We did this run once before on one of our trail hikes, except we started at the other end and came back this way. That was the maximum range that my F3 could do. I want to go a little bit further today, so that's why we're trying this again. And also why I'm doing it by myself. I don't know anyone else that has a chair that goes as fast as this one and has as much range, so we're just gonna try and cover as much ground as possible. Also, the nice thing about this route is nobody really commutes via bicycle out here, so I do have the camera on the back of my chair recording just because I always do, but yeah, I don't think we should have any traffic issues with bicycles and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, I did bring an air pump just in case we get a flat. I do have slime in the tires, so that should be good. Yeah, stuff. Anyways, first stop is going to be, I think, a gas station that's down here. There is a McDonald's a little bit further down. Actually, that's probably closer to 7 miles. I think I'm gonna want coffee before that. So anyways, we're gonna hit the gas station and see how I feel in like 4 miles. Apparently this is used for some sort of event, running or biking or something. I'm glad I noticed it early. This front lens has some schmoo on it, so let's fix that. So as soon as I open my mouth about bicycles, here they come. So remember how I mentioned that maybe there's some event going on and they painted something on the ground? Holding the camera way close to my face. Yeah, that's them. Apparently whatever those bicycles are doing, they go down there to that bridge, turn around and come back. Interesting. But yeah, like I said, the first part of this trail is kind of boring. Not much going on, just a bunch of blackberries. I mean, we do have blue sky and stuff. I mean, you hear the birds. It's like birds chirping and stuff. Got some dead, what is that? It's not willow. Dogwood? Some sort of trees over there. More trees. We live in a forest. What am I saying? There's trees. So another thing I wanted to check out here is a few people have told me that a lot of the encampments and stuff are gone. I don't know if we're gonna go that far down this trail, but I am curious to see. Okay, anyways, I'll be back. random goats because, you know, Portland. Oh, one other thing I just remembered. On this bounder, I had the programmer plugged into it a couple weeks ago, and I didn't realize, but the motor torque for each channel was not turned up all the way. So I cranked that up to 100, I think. It feels a little bit more snappy. I don't know if there's a reason it was set that way. I did change the gear ratios on this thing. Like, this chair is modified outside of its normal specs or what it's supposed to be. Hang on a second here. So yeah, technically I did kind of screw this chair up, and the gear ratios that it have are not what it was designed for. But I guess this will be another test to see if it drastically affects our battery life, or overheating issues or anything like that. Okay, some of you may remember I used to carry around a small aluminum bat in my lap anytime I was on these trails. I found something interesting. There's been probably about 60, 70 bicycles that passed me so far. When I'm holding the camera and filming, they all get out of the way and no one says anything, and, you know, everything's cool. But when I'm not holding the camera up, that's when they get really close to me and don't announce their presence or anything like that. So yeah, I think this camera is the new baseball bat. So this is the old Portland Traction Company train tracks or whatever. I guess there's some other history with this route dating back to like trolley cars or something like that. But as you can see, it's very straight and very level. They went through and, well, the tracks were decommissioned years and years ago. And then they came through and paved this trail and put it in. But yeah, it's kind of cool. They call it a 40-mile loop. I guess it's 20 miles from where I started all the way to somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly. And then there's another section of this trail that supposedly loops down by the Columbia River, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but wait, is it 20-mile loop or 40-mile loop? I can't remember. Whatever. It's a long flat paved. It's a long flat paved trail. That's all I know. Oh, bouncy. Random sidebar. So far, not one person has responded when I'm like, hey, how's it going? Or I nod or say hey or something like that as I pass. Like I said, there are a lot of bicycles out here. There's a lot of pedestrians and people with their kids and stuff like that, but that's kind of weird. Usually a few of them will say something. Meh. That's funny. The second I say that no one's responding, that guy's like, gives a hearty wave. Anyways, update. More trees, more blackberries, power lines, and more asphalt. Ooh, there's a little shelter. Wonder what this is all about. Yeah, it's a little bench under a roof. Awesome. Okay, I think we are getting fairly close to that park slash gas station slash that was a large rock I just ran over. Yeah, I think it's just past this crossing here. Oh look, it's a creek. It's a picnic area. Trash cans, little table, some sort of pathway that goes to somewhere. Oops, almost forgot to show you guys the scenery. This is Johnson Creek. This part of it's fairly clear, but yeah, it tends to get pretty polluted and stuff. But it runs along quite a bit of this trail. Okay, I recant my previous statement. Every single person that I passed, ever since I said that nobody was saying hello, every single one has been now. So, anyways. Maybe we're in a different zone of where humans live or something, I don't know. Oh, look, there's some ducks. Probably can't see them because this camera's really wide angle, but there are in fact 2 ducks. I wonder how long this light's gonna stay green. 12 seconds. Do I have enough time? Slash, is there traffic? Nope, I'm gonna have to catch the next one. Wait a minute, how the hell is this supposed to work? Look how high that button is. I can't reach that. Oh, there's another one here. I'm new. I wonder if that's spray paint or some sort of aerosol chalk they were using. It seems weird to just spray paint the ground. Okay, there we go. I've started turning the camera left and right anytime I cross a street, because from your guys' perspective, it looks like I'm not looking, and I am. So, yeah. So the one annoying thing about this particular DX2 control system on this chair, and a lot of chairs in general, there is a very slight angle to this surface here, and to keep going straight I have to push slightly to the left, and because of that it slows me way down. I was saying that for a reason and I completely forgot why I brought that up. Nobody there. I don't know, I'm sure it was incredibly relevant, but I can't remember what it was. Ooh, it's a bag of poo. I got the look of an alien creature on that one. That was good. It's interesting to see everyone's reactions as they pass by. I don't know if the camera picked that up or not. We'll see. Whoa. Look at this dollhouse. I mean dollhouse, playhouse. Look at that thing, that blue one. It's like a 3/4 or half scale house. That's pretty dang cool, actually. Sometimes I forget I have Tourette's. I think those people looking at me like I was an alien creature was probably because I was doing some of those head ticks or whatever before they came up. I don't know, maybe. I don't always notice it happening, but I just noticed it when I passed these people here and one of them asked me if I was okay. That's fair enough. I mean, my head's flying around and I'm making weird noises, so I think a little, you know, yeah, you doing all right, man, is totally warranted in that case. Okay, so I need an answer before we get to this bridge. Do I go slow or do I just bomb this at full speed? Going slow results in 100% lots of bumpiness and it taking forever. Going fast results in it smoothing out, but it also might result in breaking something. Slippery when wet. I think we're just gonna continue at current throttle. Oh, this is not bad at all. More Johnson Creek. Although my chair is making the bridge rattle. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Okay, we are just about at stop 1. Alright, welcome to one of the places I wanted to explore, Gresham City Park. They used to have this, like, Japanese garden or something out here. I don't know if it's wheelchair accessible or not. But also, mainly, there's a gas station up here. And I need some snacks. Actually, we can look here real quick if we can get on this bridge. I think the bounder can do that. Let's go get some snacks and then we'll figure it out. Actually, first up, let's do a check on our batteries here. Okay, so I know you can't see it, but we're at 26.24 volts and we have 86% battery remaining. So that was about 4.5 miles according to the signs, if you believe signs. But yeah. I'm gonna wait for McDonald's, but I just got some cheese and meat in the meanwhile. I'm actually not sure how far the McDonald's is from here. Or do I? I don't know. We're just gonna continue on. Oh, I almost forgot. Japanese garden. Yeah, there was a guy in there playing in the sand with his son. I didn't want to disturb them. They looked like they were having a moment. So, yeah, kind of a cool little thing. Okay, back to the trail. So, I've only ever started... Oh, they have a giant sign. I've only ever started at this park and gone the other direction. Or about 15 miles down here, where I used to live, I would frequent that part of the trail. But this section right here, I have not been on in, oh gosh, at least 15 years, 20 years. That makes me feel old saying that. But I know this crosses a road down here that has a McDonald's on it, and the McDonald's usually has coffee. So let's see what there is to see. More Johnson Creek. Oh, this is that one cemetery. Yeah, so there's like a old school cemetery here. And then there's a slightly newer school one up this road. Looks like we got some trail maintenance or something going on down here. Ew, gross. It's a swamp.
Perfect.
All right, we have choices here. I'm betting the trail continues under this bridge. And look at that, it does. Oh no, the whole trail's off camber for a while. That means I'm gonna have to go really slow. More Johnson Creek, more dead trees. There's another bench with a roof over it up here. This trail has everything. Some lovely scenery and stream management going on over here. Slightly polluted water, but still kind of cool. And my favorite thing ever, drive-through trash cans. Wait a minute, Gresham Fairview Trail. What is this? That just connects to a main road. Is there some sort of trail here I don't know about? Let's see. Whoa, there is. I know you can't really see my phone screen, but I did not know that was there. Huh. Oh, that goes on one of the old power line roads. So a lot of that one's not paved, or maybe it is now. Huh, interesting. Well, I'm gonna grab my coffee right up here and use the bathroom. And then I think it's a good turning around point. And by that, I mean, we're gonna go check out that trail that I just discovered exists. Yeah, that seems really cool. I had no idea that was there. Oh look, it's a pipe. And they've got those anti-rat running cages on it. Or is that anti-human running cages? Probably a little bit of both. Oh wow, I have not been down here in a minute. Cedarville Inn. Yeah, I forget what this little area is. This is some like little town or historic something or other, I think maybe. I'll have to look it up and see what I can find. But yeah, there was some sort of significance to this little area right here. Oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, so it was this little building right here. This was, I think it was one of the the trolley car stops or something that used to use this route or something. But there's some big controversy about spending money on rebuilding that a number of years back. Reason being was the only part of the building that was left standing was a few parts that was in a cardboard box. So they basically rebuilt the whole thing from scratch. Something about using tax dollars, I don't know. Anyways, I'll have to look that up. Also, what is this? It's like some sort of event center or something? Huh. Oh, once again, I wanted to get out and explore. I've not been down to this area in almost forever. Okay, so the McDonald's we want to get to is right over there. Just barely see the golden arches poking up. I'm assuming there's going to be a sidewalk that disconnects here, but we'll see. Okay, so mental note to self, I'm going to go down the road and reconnect with a trail on the way back. I don't know what was going on there, but I think that guy offered to sell me some stuff as I was passing. They did have a pretty nice looking mattress laying on the ground though. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera away because I gotta pay attention, dodge some cars and all that stuff. BRB. Ooh, a rough bit of sidewalk. Okay, well this entryway was a bit of a train wreck. I just went over there to stop and write a review and post some photos. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but like, why is it so hard to change out your doors or put automatic openers in or basically anything that makes it remotely, barely accessible at all? I mean, I don't usually have a problem getting through doors, but that lobby, there was loose carpets on the floor that got kicked up by my tires. The doors were so narrow that my tires touched on both sides. You know, granted we are on the bounder here, but still, this chair is not wider than what ADA regulations, you know, mandate. So anyways, I've just decided screw it, and I've started leaving reviews at every single store I go to that doesn't at least have power doors or something. And what really irritates me there at this McDonald's and a lot of other McDonald's is they have a giant wheelchair logo on the door. It's like, what does that mean? I kind of want to print up some vinyl, you know, circular X's and modify all those signs so there's just a red X over it, you know? That'd be kind of funny, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's too narrow for me anyways. Yeah, they have a little cutout through the sidewalk there that's not super wide. Okay, that's a set of stairs. Yeah, so we are bypassing that one part of the trail. That was a little bit, well, there's some sketchiness occurring. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love mattresses on the ground just as much as anyone else, but I'd prefer not to go down there. Also, there's this other trail over here we need to check out. So, we're bombing the sidewalks here. I think we go down to where the U-Hauls are, maybe? I think this might actually connect with that trail, but I don't want to stay on this road. This is sketch factor 5,000. And speaking of which, there's no sidewalks, so we're just gonna do one of these. And I'm gonna do this because it's very easy to see in all directions. And also, there's that thing. Since we're right here and we're doing stuff, let's see what all the hullabaloo about this building is. There's a sign on the side of it. Oh, it's just park rules. Huh. How's my battery doing? We're at 74%. Cool. 26.09 volts. Man, these tires do not like pavement at all. So that's another sketchy thing right there. See how those windows are super tinted? I could not see that guy through the glass. He did wave me on. I saw his fingers just barely through the window. But yeah, not sure what you're supposed to do in that situation. Oh, okay, 14.2 miles. So, where we started was 20. So, 15, 16 miles is what we've gone? No, 6 miles. So we've gone 6 miles, and what did I say our battery was? 74%. That's not doing too bad. Imagine if I got some proper tires on here that weren't trying to grip the asphalt and shredding themselves at the same point. At the same time. Johnson Creek again, or still rather. There's someone behind me, and I don't know if they're gonna actually pass me, so I'm gonna stop and let them pass. I hate it when someone rides right behind you and just doesn't want to pass. Okay, so according to this here sign, if we go this way, there's some sort of Gresham Fairview Trail. Like, is this a road? What's going on here? This is huge. I'm gonna laugh if this dumps me right back out on that road we were just on. Well, what do you know? It's an actual trail. No way. Man, I really hope this footage is usable with all the wind noise. But yeah, when I said we're going to explore today, I wasn't kidding. Weirdness. Yeah, so there's this trail that just cuts up through the middle of wherever we are. Sweet. So Dan, what did you do today? I went to McDonald's and bought coffee. It's all about the journey though, right? Okay, onward. Oh. Okay, a little bit of a hill pull here, and once again, this bounder is not as fast as it could be because I screwed it up. So anyways, I always feel the need to say that because people see all the bounder repair videos and they're like, man, those things break a lot. It's like, no, mine breaks a lot. And we are officially in uncharted territory. I have never been down here. I don't know how long this has been here. Ooh, there's some sort of communication. Let's see here. Fairview Creek headwaters. We're giving nature a hand. Because nature needs our help. Anyways, that's just a bunch of we're saving the environment wankery after we've destroyed the environment or something. I don't know. Now, we are getting further and further away from our starting point. And the whole idea of this is I parked like quite some distance from here. Well, apparently 6 miles as the crow flies. No, it's got to be more than that. Anyways, going down here is quite the divergence, but light rail is also down here. So we might be able to cut off a couple of miles from our return trip by hopping on the train for a little bit or something. Yeah, this is definitely a power line trail. And the sun is trying to blind me there in the joystick. Seeing as how this is, oh, holy hill, that man. Seeing as how this is not train tracks, it's not nearly as flat. Oh yeah. This is not very fast. And we're getting more not faster. Do. Hello, GMC. Oh boy, we're about to get some speed now. I'm gonna slow down. Going that fast, hitting this cross slope seems like a really bad idea. There we go. That's the only problem with the rear-wheel drive going down a hill fast is if you need to change directions, especially turn towards the uphill side, that tire does not have a lot of weight on it. and it'll lift, and you will not steer where you want to go. I don't know why, but I just feel like we need to have a moment of silence for these stairs. They look really sad. Okay, let's go. If you ever want to make some real money in life, buy yourself some land and set up mini storage. It's like printing money. I'm gonna stop here for a second because there's some lady with her pants down taking a dump or something, and I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that for a minute and bask in the glory of how much money the owner of this property that is the mini storage is making. Okay, she's moving again. We have crossed over into the part of the town that I lovingly refer to as Rockwood. Actually, that is its name, but it's kind of the epicenter of like police chases and crimes and assorted things, you know. Uh-oh, am I gonna be able to cross here? Arterial crossing ahead, watch for cross traffic. Oh yeah, we're good. Oh good. So this is one of those crossings that just has yellow lights. It's not actually red lights. So now, okay, they're stopping. Thank you. Let's see if this minivan's gonna stop. It will. Thank you. Okay, a little bit bumpy. They call it a bound for a reason. It bounds over things. I think I'm in a good mood. Do I seem like I'm in a good mood? Smells like swamp. Not in a bad way, though. Ooh, blast. Yeah. Getting out here today seems nice. And, okay, that smell is getting very powerful. First nice day of the season, I think. Well, technically last week we had one day that was like 70-something degrees, but it also started raining, so. I mean, look at this. We got trails, we got graffiti, remnants of a burn pile. But, you know, it's a nice day. I love it. What's the McDonald's? Hang on. Do they not say I'm loving it anymore? Earn free food. That's not as feel good as some other. Anyways, I'm loving it. Ah, this appears to be where the Max light rail trains park or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna hop on the train and go down a couple of stops or something like that. I do not want to go back the way we came. Okay, what do we have here? So, okay, so that's nothing. And this appears to be something. I think there's a trail here. Yeah, let's continue on down here. I think these are more yellow lights, unfortunately. Sometimes you have to get a bit aggressive to actually cross the road. There we go, they're stopping, thank you. I think it also helps that I'm holding a camera that's fairly conspicuous. Transmedic transmissions. You know it's good because there's razor wire on top of the barbed wire. Okay, and here comes a train. So according to this, we are there. Gresham Fairview Trail. Oh, if I wanted to continue on the trail, I went the wrong way. Oh, that's all right, we need to go this way anyways. So let's go under here and see where this goes. This might turn into more of an urban adventure. Okay, we still have trail. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I had no idea any of this stuff was here. Huh. Oh, wait a minute. we might be dangerously close to a Goodwill. Maybe. If the mapping part of my brain is working, which it may not be. Yeah. There's someone laying down on the trail up here. Oh, now they stood back up. Huh. We appear to be somewhere. Ah, I know where we are. And we are, in fact, dangerously close to a Goodwill. So we might have to go do that because reasons. Yeah. Trail continues. Excellent. I do believe the end of our trail is right up here, and we're going to have to use some sidewalks to continue. I think we might go over here. Is this? I think this is City Hall. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go over here and post up and eat my lunch. Yeah, this seems like a good spot. Place to put my stuff. View of traffic. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna eat my food. Oh, coffee. We have coffee. And I'm gonna plug this camera into charge for a little bit because we're down to 9%. I'll be back. So supposedly the trail does cross the road here and go into the neighborhood, but there are no crosswalks whatsoever. So I think we're just gonna have to venture down here on the roadways. I've turned on my headlights for a little bit of extra visibility through here. But the Goodwill is just down here to the right. Maybe quarter mile, half a mile, something like that. And what I'm realizing now is I was gonna hop on the train, but it stops over here on the right side of the road. Actually kind of back there a little ways. But the problem is that's the last stop. So I guess there's not gonna be any advantage necessarily to getting on the train. Ooh, I just realized something. I just got paid yesterday and I'm going to a Goodwill. I don't know if that's the best combination of things, but we will find out, I guess. Well, luckily I'm limited to what'll fit on my lap, so definitely not gonna be buying any big screen TVs. Welcome to Good Freaking Will. Okay, we did our little dance inside the Goodwill. Let's see what our battery's at here. We are currently at 58%. I'm roughly guesstimating it's about a mile, maybe mile and a half back to the trail. And then from there, I think it's another 4.5 miles roughly. So we will continue on here and hopefully not get hit by cars. Because, you know, getting hit by cars is dumb. I think we just have to dart down this little road right here that conveniently has a crosswalk, and we should run into the trail. Yay. Oh, and I did get one thing from Goodwill. Let's see if I can grab it before this light changes. Sticking in the backpack. One of these outlet multipliers, but this one has the screw. So anytime I see those things for sale that have the screw in them, I always buy them. Because you plug those into the outlet, and then inevitably they always fall out. And screws prevent that from happening. And it was $2. So yeah. That's a win. This chair currently goes somewhere between 8 and 10 miles an hour, depending on things. And this person's turning. Yeah, so currently about 8 to 10 miles an hour. Flat level ground, about 8. Downhill, we can get up to like 10 or something like that. Really looking forward to getting the new one. That's still one of those things that's, well, it'll happen eventually, but anyways, I say all that to say that it's fun cruising down sidewalks at a high rate of speed. I think it's time for the narrow challenge. Oh, there's hooks on the ground. Didn't see those eyelets. Okay, there we go. Otherwise, I would have done that at full speed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually calculate how far we've gone today. Okay, quick battery check. We are at 52%. We have consumed, it says 53 amp hours, which is weird because it's a 100 amp hour battery and it says 52%. Maybe it's rounding, I don't know. Anyways, dare I say it, I think we should be good. Random geese statues. And here we go. I find it interesting when people talk to their dogs like you can't hear them. It's like, oh, what is that? Have you ever seen one of those before? That's a wheelchair. And they're like talking to their dog about it and stuff. I just find it kind of funny. I don't know why. Well, so far it doesn't seem like this chair is having any adverse effects to me adjusting the maximum torque settings on each motor channel up to 100%. I think they were set at maybe 65 or 70%. I can't remember. But yeah, I haven't gotten into thermal rollback. We've done a few hill pulls. Hasn't been an issue. It does seem a little bit more responsive, but I think the way the dynamic DX2 control system works is the 120 or 130 amp boost that it has does not last very long. It'll go for maybe a couple of seconds as you start pulling up a hill, and then it rolls back to maybe 60, 55, 60 amps, something like that. So if there was a way to adjust that, I think we could, you know, improve our hill climbing ability a little bit. But yeah, I don't know, seems to be working good. I'm glad I came out today. Starting to get a little bit warm. Actually, how warm is it? Well, the weather app says it's 68 degrees. I think in the sun it feels a little warmer than that, but yeah, this is nice. So the GoPro Max is kind of an interesting camera. When my, let's see, I think it was my old Fusion, when that thing finally crapped out, I went to get it replaced, knowing that they don't make it anymore, and they upgraded me to this one. It's pretty universal, and it does do some pretty interesting shots. Like, you can sort of get like fake drone footage, as it were. But yeah, I mean, I'm using it in single camera mode right now, and it seems to work all right. The dynamic range is probably not the best out of all their cameras, and the resolutions, it's not terrible, but yeah, I don't know. It gets the job done, and it's been reliable so far. Well, as reliable as a GoPro can be. All right, we are coming up on the end of the trail here. Got a little bit of a drive ahead of me. So anyways, I'm gonna load up, head back, and yeah, thanks for watching. It's been an awesome day. So holy crap. I just put in all of the stops we made and the loop and everything, and we just did 20.5 miles. There's a little bit of variance there because trying to get it to take the walking paths versus the streets is a little bit weird, but yeah, 20.5 miles. Should we just round up and call it 21? Yeah, we'll call it 21 miles because there was a few little detours here and there. So yeah, wait, what was the percentage left on the battery on the bounder? So we had 33% battery. Can you even see that? Yeah, 33% battery remaining. So I have gone much further distances than this before, but I had different tires. If you notice this tread pattern, this is not conducive to efficiency on pavement. So yeah, and if you look really close, you can see it's starting to wear down the edges, and we're getting some rubber curling up and stuff like that. Because I have gone, I think it was 39 or 37 miles in one day before, and I had just shy of 40% battery remaining, or something like that. I can't remember. But anyways, they say with these things, the 50-mile range, if you have the lithium battery option, that is 100% correct. All things being ideal and whatnot. But yeah, sweet. I'm happy. Now it's time for laundry.